Love and Life Tribe, Balance, Love, and Light. So, let me take off these glasses. Okay, so as I stated earlier, um, I've been going through a rough patch with my mom. I've been going through this rough patch since I was pregnant with my daughter, and that was really since maybe like June. Yeah, like maybe June of 2018. So, yeah, since maybe like June of 2018. And it has it's been really hard. It's been really hard. And in life, you know, things really don't matter unless, your mama approves it, or unless your mom is happy, then you can't really be happy. And that's how I was for a long time until when I asked her, if she was happy for me, you know, after giving birth and after marrying my husband. She said that she couldn't be happy for me. And this has been going on really since last year. And it hurts because it's your mom, the one who gave birth to you, the one who kissed your boo-boos, and the one that's your mom, period. And so for me to go through this, it was just like, for lack of better terms, damn. And it all started from our conversation this morning. I just had to get things off my chest because I didn't feel like I was being completely honest with, how I truly felt. And so I just had to get a few things off my chest. And so it started this morning from her questioning, why I don't use the term birthday. I use the term Earth Day. And I just didn't feel like I needed to give her that explanation because every time she had asked me a question of something I had did, it always was turned around with criticism. Who wants to be subjected with criticism? I just prefer you not ask me anything. Like, I don't want you to ask me and I'm not about to explain it to you because all you do is turn around and criticize. And so today, she claims she didn't know what Earth Day meant, why I don't say happy birthday, I say happy Earth Day. And, I had to break it down to her. And I said, well, I say Earth Day because it's the day in which our souls were not purely cosmic. It's when, we were assigned an earthly body. That's my beliefs. Okay. And I'm not here to push my beliefs on anybody. And so she really wanted to know why I say happy Earth Day. And so I said, since you genuinely want to know, like she actually Googled it and tried to figure it out. She couldn't find, the term Earth Day in replace of birthday. So I'm like, well, since you genuinely want to know, I'll tell you. And so then she says, and then I'm just like, and she says, thank you. And I said, my pleasure. And I told her, I said, I'm just tired of you criticizing the things I do. And I feel that as my mother, you should be happy for me in whatever I do. You don't have to agree with me, just be happy for me. And she says, well, let me explain. It's hard for me as your mother to be happy about you separating yourself from your family because of a relationship. I'm married. And after I got married, I sent letters out to my family saying, hey, I am separating myself from the family to focus on my growing family. I sent letters, handwritten letters out to everybody. Just say, I'm taking time out to focus on me and my family. Okay? Where is the wrong in that? I didn't say that I'm going to block anybody. I didn't say that I'm going to cut off all communication. None of that. I said, I'm just separating myself to focus on my family. And then she went on to say how, I keep my son from her and how I keep my daughter from her and how I exclude my family from my life for the sake of bonding with my husband and, my nuclear family. And I just basically told her, no, if I were to exclude my whole family, I would block you and everybody from calling me. You wouldn't be invited to any occasions that I throw. And you wouldn't know where I live. You wouldn't even know the city or if I even lived in the same state. You're my mother, period. You don't I don't have to give you a play-by-play of my life. unless you are contributing financially. She's not doing that. Therefore, I don't have to tell her when I move. I don't have to tell her when I get married. Just be happy that I got married, that I'm no longer single, that I'm not a single mom. There's nothing wrong with being a single mom. I was one for 7 years. But that I'm married. I'm married to the love of my life, to the man who loves me for me. Okay? And so, with all that she has said, me separating myself and with me keeping my son and my daughter from her, which is not the case. Mind you, my son spent almost 6 months with her while I transitioned to our new home. Yeah, almost 6 months. How is that keeping him away? Anyways. Okay, so my reply to her was, okay, for starters, you are my mother. Period. I don't have to give you a play-by-play of my life unless you are contributing financially. I said, when I married my husband, I made a vow to him and only him. I separated myself from my childhood family to focus on my own growing family. I said, if I really wanted to cut you and everybody out of my life, I would have blocked everyone's phone numbers and no one would be invited to anything. I said, secondly, I told everyone that I wanted to wait 6 weeks before introducing my daughter to the whole family. And mind you, everybody knew, my birth plan months before. And then at my son's birthday party, when he turned 8, that was 2 weeks before I went into labor, right? I went into labor at 37 weeks, 5 days. And I said, this baby can come as early as 37 weeks. And what did she do? And I made sure I told everybody my birth plan. Because the last thing I wanted is to be under stress after giving birth. And that birth was a little stressful because I was natural, okay? And then her placenta got stuck. And they had to reach up inside me and manually detach the placenta. Who wants a whole bunch of family in the delivery room after that? They would have had to do emergency surgery had they not been able to manually remove the placenta. Okay. So I said, secondly, I told everyone that I wanted to wait 6 weeks before introducing the baby to everybody. Yet I still brought her over to my siblings' house so you could see her before she turned 6 weeks old. I said, and how dare you say that I keep Zachariah from you when he spent almost 6 months with you? And I said, third, I said, the Lacey you raised was broken, hurt, lost, depressed, and unloved, who attempted to take her own life. I attempted to take my own life. A lot of people don't know that. I attempted to take my own life because I felt unloved. I felt I was hurt. I was broken. I couldn't talk to anybody about how I felt because if I talk to somebody how I feel, oh, that's just the devil. No, it's a thing called chemical imbalance. You feel depressed because your serotonin levels are low. If your serotonin levels were equal and level, you wouldn't be depressed. You wouldn't feel anxiety. You'd be even killed, what we call homeostasis. You would be at homeostasis. I was not at homeostasis. They were off. I was going through so much in my life to where I felt that taking my own life was the only way out. Okay? And also, go back to that, my mom, she said, I don't know this Lacey you become. This is not the Lacey I raised. And that's why I told her, I said, the Lacey you raised was broken, hurt, lost, depressed, and an unloved woman who attempted to take her own life. I said, the change in which has happened, what is taking place in my life, is one for the better. Of course, you won't recognize who I am because I'm no longer broken, hurt, depressed, unloved, and suicidal. I'm made whole and living the life that I am destined to live, one of happiness, love, abundance, acceptance, and freedom. And since you don't know who I am, let me introduce myself. My name is Lacey DeJanique Taylor, wife of Timothy Taylor and mother of Zachariah and Asha. I'm a mental health consultant and CEO of my own mental health consulting firm. It's a shame you can't be happy for me. And then she goes on to tell me that I was never unloved. She goes on to tell me that, she always loved me, yada, yada, yada. First and foremost, as my mother, yes, you love me. But I'm telling you, I didn't feel love. When your child tells you that they don't feel love, you don't turn around and become combative. When your child tells you that they did not feel loved, you say, what have I done to make you not feel loved? How can I fix it? As a mother, what do we want to do? We want to fix it. If we can't fix it, can't nobody fix it. So as my mother, I expect you to want to fix it, but instead of her wanting to fix it, she's combative. And then she goes on. And she's saying you were never unloved, and you went searching for love that no human could ever satisfy, and as a result became broken, suicidal, felt unloved by men in your life who didn't love you for you, but what you looked like. And I was just like, whoa. After I told you I didn't feel loved as a child, you turn around and tell me all this? Like, when a child tells you that they feel unloved, is because they're not getting it from home. That's when children go out and they try to find love in all the wrong places, whether it be through sexual relations, whether it be through the streets, with gangs, whether it be with drugs. That's what people do. And some people never heal from that. And then it carries over into their adult lives. And that's why we have addiction. That's why we have promiscuity at an all-time rate. Where is the love? Here I am, 29, telling you, as a child, I did not feel loved. And, after she told me that, that I was never unloved and all that other stuff, and I said, wow, of course you'll say that I wasn't unloved. You're not me. So therefore, I don't expect you to know all the things that I've experienced as a child and how I felt unloved. I said, the reason I went searching for love outside of the home is because I wasn't getting it from home. Growing up, I wasn't your daughter. I was your friend and confidant. I was my mother's friend. My dad alienated my mother from her friends. The only friend she had was me. Okay? And I said, growing up, I wasn't your daughter. I was your friend and confidant. Do you know how difficult it is to keep a balance of childhood and the affairs that went on in your parents' marriage? Do y'all know how hard that is? Where my mother is telling me the things that my father's doing, and I have to keep a straight face and respect him as my father. Let's read on. And I said, and for you to say that I'm excluding my family is a lie. I told her, you're a negative person and I don't want negativity around me. Okay. And I told her, I said, all that matters is that I'm married to a man who loves me for me, doesn't take me for granted, and he takes care of me and mine. I just want you to be happy for me. And then she goes on and says, well, I always love you, even if our mother-daughter relationship was different. You were a teenager when our relationship went from just mother-daughter to friends. I never stopped loving you at any age. I said, well, I'm letting you know now, as an adult, I didn't feel love. I said, I know you love me, I just didn't feel it. And then I told her, I said, when children don't feel loved at home, they go out searching for love. I said, no, I didn't feel loved by you or my father. You're negative because even when things don't go your way, you can't look beyond it to see what truly matters. You couldn't be happy for me after the birth of Asha because I didn't want any guests in the delivery room. I said, had you been unselfish and respected my wishes, you would have been able to come to the recovery room to see her. I said, if you can't be happy for me, so be it. I have a support system. It hurts, but I'll be okay. And I told her I meant everything I said. And she asked me, she was like, please forgive me. If you felt that you were unloved, and, she apologized, and I appreciated that. And yeah. And she was like, well, I see that your happiness isn't contingent upon me being happy for you. And I told her, I said, my happiness isn't contingent upon you being happy for me, because once you told me that you couldn't be happy for me, I had to adjust. And that's just what it is. And I told her, I said, I will never, ever push you out of my life. I said, however, negativity, I won't stand for it. I said, there will be no me without you. And that's the fact. That's my mama. Honestly, I look just like my mom. Like when my mom had locks, we look like twins. So, I mean, I love my mom. I could never separate myself from her. Never. But what I can do and what I have done is I made a family for my own. Do you know I prayed, for a husband? I prayed for a complete family. And now that I've got it, and this was the person that said, God will give you what you want just in due time. And when he comes, you can't be happy for me. So I said all that to say this. The rift that I was in with my mother, it affected my mental health immensely. And it affected it to the point where I was just like, you know what? It'll be okay if my mom don't want to be in my life, or if she just want to be negative. It's fine, because I have women that are that mother figure that I need. I didn't grow up having a mother figure. I didn't. And, I searched for that. I searched for it. But today, with all the women that have come into my life and who have surrounded me, I have that mother figure. I have that love. I have women who don't know me from Adam who say, I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. But I couldn't get it from my own mom, but it's okay. It's okay, because I'm no longer broken. I'm no longer unloved. I'm no longer hurt. I'm no longer suicidal. I'm living a life of abundance, love, happiness, joy, and freedom. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And I'm not going to stop. Regardless if my mother doesn't want to, be happy for me, it's okay. It's okay, because I'm happy for me. My husband's happy for me. And my babies are damn sure happy for me. So, I just want y'all to know that it gets better. It gets better. My mom apologized, and we came to a common ground. I hadn't gotten an apology from my mother. And mind you, I haven't done anything to her. But I finally got that apology today, and I finally was able to tell her all that I had felt. And I was able to be completely honest and transparent. And that was the breakthrough that I needed. And I just wanted to share it with you. Be upfront, be honest. They may not like your honesty or what you have to say, but at the end of the day, you can go to sleep with your mind clear, and you're not guilty. And you won't go to sleep with no shoulda, woulda, couldas, or I should have said that, or I could have said that, but I didn't. No, when you're open and honest and transparent, everything that was meant to say is going to be said. You don't have to go back and be like, dang, I should have said this, or, no, see what happened. No, when you're open and honest and you're real and you mean everything that you say, everything that is supposed to be said will be said, and there you will come to a resolve, period. So I just wanted to give y'all some encouragement to know that it's not the end of the rope. If you have a relationship, if your relationship with your mother is strained, or your relationship with your father is strained, have that conversation, whether it be through text, whether it be face-to-face or over the phone. You need that conversation, especially before this new year is out. That's one thing I said I didn't want to go into the new year with, and that was with that strained relationship with my mother. And I'll be doggone, I'm not going into 2020 with that. I'm not going into it. And I'm just so glad. And yeah, be encouraged. It gets better. It gets better. And remember, it don't last always. Nothing lasts always. So until then, balance, love, and light.